All right, hello, everybody, and welcome to the stream. Today we arrive at the Hungaroring for round 13 of Division 2. As we start the qualifying session here today, we can notice some raindrops starting to fall onto the track, which will make conditions a little bit more tricky for the 14 drivers racing here today. Everyone is going for the intermediate tires so far, but not a single car out on the track. So maybe the conditions are going to improve towards the end of the session, and the drivers are waiting for that to happen. First car out onto the track is Queasy in the RB. And it won't let me change camera for some reason. Oh, there we go. All right. So Queasy just starting his lap now. Everyone is coming out onto the track, so my prediction is probably incorrect. And the conditions are probably going to stay like this, if not get worse, for the remainder of the session. Unfortunately, we can't see the weather radar or anything like that, but the drivers do have access to that, so we can only assume what is going through their heads at the moment. Conditions look a little sketchy out there, at least for Queasy so far. He's approaching the third sector now, a little bit of a slide. Tokyo Drift. Oh, he's got a Haas behind him as well. It must be Kodo. Kodo is the only Haas driving today. But he is on an outlap, so I would imagine he's going to give Queasy some space. Nearly runs into the back of him there. And he's going to get a nice slipstream on the RB as he starts his first flying lap. So Queasy sets a 1:31.9, which gets beaten quite badly by Waza, over 2.5 seconds. The gap between Queasy and Waza. Next across the line looks like Expedito. Expedito goes pole, I'm at 28.5. So even he beats Waza's lap quite considerably. And then behind him was Surivasta, who goes pole, 28.2. Roberto goes P3, Super Sean P4. Kev the Slice goes pole by nearly 0.7 of a second, 27.5. Usually in the rain, we see a lot of different skill levels. DJ Lawson was P6. But so far the gaps, apart from Queasy, haven't been too drastic. We have about 1.7-ish seconds from Kev the Slice to Waza. So not too bad so far. Mohammed goes to P8. Ishii just started his lap. Shiv is almost finished, and further up the road is Kodoy in the Haas. So up to the line now for Kodoy. He's got lots of ERS to play with, and he goes to pole with 1 minute 27.2. Beats Kev the Slice by 0.3 of a second. I believe someone just improved. I think it was Srivasta. It was Wazah. Wazah goes up to P4. Shiv P6. Ishii going through the middle sector now. So everyone has set a lap so far except for Ishii, Motion God, and the Bartofor. Oh! That must have been a glitch. Looked like Ishii was going to drive straight off the road there for a second. That's another thing. I've noticed in this game, I mean, I speak like it's a brand new game. It's been out for a while now. But compared to the 23 game, I've noticed that the battery drains a lot faster. However, in wet conditions, you can see that it's a lot easier to save energy, and that's a theme in real life as well as the previous F1 games, so there's no surprise there. But if you pay close attention to it, you can see that a lot of the drivers either have pretty full tanks by the time they cross the line, or they're just able to use the overtake button multiple times throughout the lap, which can improve their straight line speed. DJ Lawson looking to improve on his personal best. He's currently in P10 with a 1 minute 28.9. Oh, and he goes wide and invalidates his lap time, so he will have to try again. Srivasta goes to pole with a 127.1. So, another thing, in the rain, it's different to the dry weather, where after you do 1 to 2 flying laps, the tires just lose all their performance. In these conditions, as the drivers keep going around the track, they're dispersing all the water off of the racing line. You can see it looks a little bit, how do I say this, more glossy on the right hand side. Oh, big slide for Bartofor, because the right hand side isn't on the racing line. So you can see that the racing line, it appears to be drier already halfway through this qualifying session, and there's more grip. So as the drivers keep going round and round, the track elevates, and they're able to find more performance as this dry line becomes better and better. So that's why not a lot of them are pitting. I mean, now they are, but some of them set 3, 2, 3, 4, even 5 flying laps in a row. You can see Srivasta on another flying lap. This is his 4th lap on these set of tires, and he's improving as well. So it just goes to show that it could be beneficial just to stay out and keep putting in good lap times. The only issue there would be the ERS, but Srivasta appears to have no problems as he improves his lap time, and he's now on pole with a gap of 0.5 of a second. Behind him is the Bartofor, who just now set a lap, which was good enough for 2nd place, and now he's improving again. Sets the purple first sector and is 3.5 up on his previous lap time. Oh, went a little wide there at the chicane. Compromised his exit a little bit because he had to run over the sausage curb. So you can see he's using a little bit of his overtake button there because he has lots to play with. Oh, Tokyo Drift through the right hander, and he approaches the 3rd sector now. He's over 0.5 second up on his time, and he sets a purple middle sector as well. So this surely will be pole position for the Bartofor, unless he makes a mistake here in the 3rd sector. Coming around the final corner now, very important to stay tight to the apex and power it out up to the line, and he improves by 7.5, taking pole position, and that gives him a little bit of a buffer. The gap is about 2.5 So, especially in the rain, that's still pretty close. But Bartofor can breathe a sigh of relief for now. Srivasta is coming in. Kodoy is improving. He sets a purple first sector. So this is really anyone's game here. I would say anyone in the top 10 right now have a real chance at taking pole position, and even below them, anyone here can significantly improve their position as well. Someone just improved. I missed it. Super Sean up to P7. Kodoy 1.3 seconds up. He's going to get into the 25s here if he keeps this up. Sets a purple middle sector for good measure, but goes a little bit wide there at the penultimate corner. That will definitely cost him. It's always important to keep it tight to the apex, but especially in the rain when there's less grip. And he goes pole position. He improves by 1.6 seconds, and his gap to P2 is 9/10. A commanding lap by Kodoy, putting him on provisional pole. 6.5 minutes to go here in qualifying. So Shiv had a big lap just now, improved by over a second, and put himself into P4. Not sure if he is still on a lap here. I don't think so. Based on his sector time, that looks a little bit too high. He's on a lap, but he's down quite considerably. So is Kev the Slice. So is Super Sean. DJ Lawson is improving. He's improving by about half a second. So is Queasy. Queasy's approaching the line now. Oh, no, he's not. Must be a Red Bull. Yeah, Super Sean. So we'll ride on board with DJ Lawson. He's half a second up on his time, currently in P11. He needs about 7/10 of a gain, and that would put him into P9. Let's see what he can do here. Overtake button enabled, up to the line. Oh, he improves to P7. He had a really strong third sector there. Improved by 1.3 and he's sitting just shy of P5 even. A few more hundredths of a second would have gotten him there. But nonetheless, a great lap there from the Kick Sauber driver. Mercedes. Motion. Must be Motion. It is. Red Bull. Let me see. Yeah. Let me see. INM Ferrari. Kev the Slice. Oh, Kev the Slice was pole. 1 minute 25.4. 1/10 behind him is Kodoy. Wow, they just keep raising the bar higher and higher with each time they start their laps. Amando's pitting. The other Red Bull, Super Sean. Sorry if I'm hurting your eyes switching so frequently. I'm just trying to find the driver who's next across the line. So Super Sean, he's up on his time. Currently the championship leader, I believe. Only P9 though so far, and he goes up to P3. Gained by a second, 1.2 seconds. Good enough for P3. And we can see Kodoy has pitted to the soft tires. Is it dry enough for slicks? Very well could be. Let's see if he actually enters the track on those tires. Maybe he's just trying them out. That's also a possibility. Maybe he thinks he can't improve on his previous lap time on inters, and he's trying to see if maybe slicks are quicker. And if that's the case, that's definitely not a bad strategy. So Motion got up to the line to set his first flying lap. It goes to P12, 28.3. Roberto on an out lap behind him. The blue cars are so hard to see. I think that's Expedito. It is. He's down. McLaren, that's Wazah. He's pitting. Ferrari, that must be Kev. Oh, it's not Kev. Oh, he's in the pit. Right. Okay. Super Sean. So Super Sean appears to be on another lap here. Although he is in P3, he's 9/10 off of second and a whole second off of first. So quite a long way to go there. He's making a pit stop. So Basta invalid. DJ Lawson. Another big time gain for DJ Lawson. The pace is just coming and coming and coming for him. What's happened? Why is he pitting? He was up by a second there. That's interesting. He's got to make sure he gets back out onto the track quickly, though, because time is running out. Bartol 4. Pit lane. Shiv, out lap. Mercedes. Has to be Motion God. He's on a lap, looks like. Yeah, it does look pretty dry, I must say. So if you're not on the softs, you better switch onto them now because you don't have a lot of time left. And you can just see Motion God struggling for grip a little bit there. He does improve, but just visually looking at the track, I think this is the crossover period. And those who can get out onto the track on the soft tires will have a massive advantage. So that is a big brain move from Kodoy there, pitting to softs as early as he did. He might be the only driver who gets an opportunity to set a lap on the slick tires. Not the only other driver that's on the track on the slicks is Wazah. And with 1:40 remaining, by the time they get out onto the track, complete their out lap, I think it's just going to be these two. Queasy has just exited the pit lane, so yeah, he's the only other driver who has a real chance. Realistically, a flying lap, 1:20, because the track isn't completely dry, and he's got about 1:20 right now, so it's going to be very, very close. DJ Lawson, he has to absolutely fly on this out lap if he's going to make it. I honestly don't think he will. It's going to be Wazah, Kodoy, and Queasy. So Kodoy's just started his first flying lap, but I don't think he's going to have enough time to do another lap after this one. And he appears to be struggling massively through the first corner. So although the track looks to be dry, maybe there isn't as much grip on the slicks as we previously thought. Yeah, he looks to be absolutely struggling out there. It looks painful to watch, and he's 4 seconds down. So maybe the intermediates were the correct choice after all. Let's see if Wazah can improve. He is starting his flying lap. Queasy might not even make it here. 15 seconds. DJ Lawson is definitely not making it. He's invalid, which, yeah, he's trying to cut the corners. I don't think that's allowed. Either way, he's not going to get there. Queasy, he's not going to make it. Wazah is 7/10 up, though. No, that's impossible. Look how much he's sliding. The softs just weren't the move. It was a bit too early. Yeah, he's 2 seconds down. So who's next to cross the line? It's a Haas car. It must be Kodoy. He's on the soft. Yeah, wow. That's really interesting. Is she up to the line now? Ishii goes pole! Ishii in the Williams goes pole. What a shocking lap. That's incredible. Shiv can't improve. Who's behind him? It's a RB, a Red Bull? Red Bull, must be Red Bull. Who's next? Mohammed. No, who is it? Aston Martin. Roberto, he can't improve either. Expedito, he's a second up. Expedito pole! It's a Williams 1-2. Unless Kev the Slice has something to say about it. Kev the Slice up to the line, and he ruins the Williams party. Kev the Slice takes back pole position, but what an effort from the Williams cars. That was incredible. Last gasp effort there at the end of qualifying, and they end up with a 2-3 start. Wonderful stuff from the Williams team. So there we have it then. Kev the Slice taking pole position by 5/10 of a second, 1 minute 24.3. In second place, we've got Expedito. And in third place, we've got the other Williams of Ishii. Looking down the rest of the grid, we've got Kodoy, Shiv, Roberto, Super Sean, the Bartofor, Surivasta, Motion God, DJ Lawson, Waza, Mohammed, and Queasy. Don't be misled by these qualifying results, though. It was a very, very hectic qualifying session. If you missed it, started off wet, intermediate conditions. It stopped raining and the track dried up. Few drivers tried to make the slicks work, but unfortunately it was just a little bit too early, and those who stayed out on the inters proved to have the advantage. So it's looking like a sunny race so far. Hungaroring is one of the worst tracks for tire deg, so I'm expecting to see either a hard medium or even a two-stop. I wouldn't count that out either, but we will see shortly. Oh, look at that camera angle. Where was that yesterday? Softs. Wow. Interesting. All right, so as usual, we are going to take a look at the uh, standings. Yeah, standings. All right, so is this updated? Because D1 wasn't updated. I think it is. Is it? No, it's not. Okay, so this is standings after the Spanish Grand Prix. So that would have been 2 weeks ago because the last race was Vegas. So after the Spanish Grand Prix, Super Sean was in first place, holding a narrow lead over the Bartofor, 242 points and 238 points respectively. Behind them, tied for third, is Kev the Slice and Shiv with 203 points. Not too much of a gap there. In the constructors, first place is Alpine, narrowly holding a lead over Aston Martin, 361 and 352 points respectively. And in third place, we've got Ferrari with 314. However, Red Bull in fourth, not too far behind either, 306 points for the Red Bull team. Yeah, so the soft tires are very interesting. That's for sure. 5 red lights on ahead of the drivers. It's lights out and away we go. It's a good launch from Kev the Slice. He maintains his lead for the time being. Behind them, Ishii, Kodoy. Kodoy had a good start as well in the Haas, looking to go down the inside of the Williams. Ishii had a little bit more speed on that particular occasion, but Expedito is falling down the order massively. Already in P5 is the Williams. Kodoy round the outside. Shiv trying to get through. Kodoy keeps that position. Everything looks civilized so far, but the Bartofor has lost massive amounts of time, and he's currently at the back of the field as well. So I'm not sure what happened there, but that is definitely not what you want as a championship contender. Ooh. Expedito getting a little squirrely over the curb there. One thing these drivers need to be careful of at the start of this race, not to overcook their tires. As I said, Hungary is very, very difficult in terms of tire deg. So these drivers are going to have to make sure they're not pushing too hard at the start of this race to be able to make it to the end. Oh, Kodoy fakes down the inside, looks to the outside, forces Ishii over the curb, but Ishii keeps that position. Very difficult to overtake around here as well. Your only real opportunities are into turn 1 and into turn 2 if you're lucky. That's about it, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to take a look at your position changes after the opening lap. Your hero of lap 1 goes to Waza, gaining 6 positions. Started in P12, he's now in P6. Your biggest faller from the opening lap is the Bartofor, dropping 6 positions. But he's gained up that time pretty quickly. DJ Lawson, first driver to pick up a penalty. Track limits are also very difficult around here, especially in the middle sector. However, lap 2, that is very, very early, and DJ Lawson needs to be more cautious if he is to make it to the end of this race without a heap of penalties. Not too much going on overtaking-wise. DRS is enabled, though, so I expect to see some action here at the front of the field. Expedito sets the fastest lap of this race down in P5. Kodoy looking to make the move down the inside on Ishii. He definitely had the pace in qualifying, but unfortunately for him, made the wrong tire call and switched to the slicks too early, which ultimately cost him a couple positions. He's making a case here in the race, though. Has to defend from Shiv, and there's contact. Shiv goes off the track. It was a bit of an optimistic move there, hanging it on the inside, which turned into the outside. Thankfully, both drivers got away fairly well. Something's happened to Muhammad. He's lost quite a bit of time. 7 seconds behind the Bartofor. Oh, massive slide for Kodoy. He ends up getting ghosted and loses a position to Shiv. So that was a costly mistake, which ultimately cost him a position. As we can already see, we haven't seen any overtakes so far, and it's already the beginning of lap 4. So overtaking is definitely not coming easy for these drivers today. So Ishii's got quite a good run here into turn 1. He's side by side with Kev the Slice. He's going to use the DRS to breeze past that Ferrari down the main straight. There's a good job on the brakes. Kev the Slice looks for the switchback, but the opportunity just isn't there. Ishii is your new race leader. Oh, Kev the Slice appears to have made a mistake on the exit of turn 2. It allows Shiv to come alongside him, but I don't think he's going to make a move into turn 4, and that's a wise move from the Aston Martin. Gonna go a little bit further down the field now, where Super Sean is currently in a battle with Surivasta and Roberto, battling it out for P6. Surivasta looks to have a good run on the Aston Martin. He gets past on the exit of that corner there. I'm not sure what number corner that is, I apologize. But the fast sweeping right-hander, Surivasta had a great exit and was able to overtake Roberto there. Gonna see if anything changes at the front here. Kev the Slice pretty close to the Williams on the exit of the final corner, but the speed just isn't there. Ishii isn't even using his battery. So, correct me if I'm wrong. No, it doesn't make sense, does it? Never mind. I was going to say something about the track being higher downforce. The DRS effect isn't as powerful. I think I'm wrong. I think it's the other way around. But, yeah, if anyone in the chat knows, please feel free to correct me. I mean, that main straight isn't very long at all to begin with. It's deceiving because it's the longest straight on the track, but compared to the other ones at like Spain and Baku, for example, it's not even close. So we could see Surivasta and the Mercedes gaining on Wazaa. Wazaa's red light is flashing, but he does have 80% in his ERS, and he clips the wall on the inside of the final corner there. He's going to be a sitting duck down this straight without any DRS. Might get overtaken twice here. Let's see if Super Sean and Roberto can get him as well. Super Sean was trying to avoid Wazaa. In the process, cuts off Roberto. Thankfully, all the drivers got away unscathed, but that was very, very close. DJ Lawson has picked up another penalty here, only on lap 6, so this already isn't looking very good for the Kick Sauber driver. He needs to keep out of penalty trouble if he's going to have any real shot in this race. Bartofor is continuing his surge back up the field after a little mistake on the opening lap. His next victim is Expedito. Oh, what's happened to Expedito? Expedito was in P5 on the first couple laps. Now he's dropped down to P11, so I'm not sure what happened there. Bartofor looking to get past, but unfortunately for him, Expedito does have DRS up ahead, so it's going to be much more difficult for the Alpine driver to find a way through. Expedito is putting pressure on Queasy, though. He makes contact with the RB into turn 2. I think he locked a wheel there by mistake and just barreled into him a little bit. Yeah, it's just so narrow out there after turn 2 that it's just next to impossible to have a real overtaking opportunity. I think it's turn 13. I think that's the number. It's a kind of a heavy braking zone. The one that we're approaching right now. Right-hander, medium braking zone. If you're side by side, it's not a bad opportunity to overtake, but that's like massive contact between Expedito and Queasy. As I was saying, that could be an overtaking opportunity if it's essential, but other than that, really you should stick to turn 1 and turn 2. Expedito gaining the slipstream. He could send it here. He goes for it, but he's just outbroken himself, by quite a lot. And he might even lose the position to Bartofor here. He forces Bartofor off the track on the outside. Can he take Queasy down the inside? And he loses the car. He has a snap of oversteer. Puts it in the wall. He's missing his front wing end plate, so he might be making a pit stop now. Bartofor looked like he had to brake at the apex there to avoid hitting Queasy. I think his apex speed is just that much higher. And this is one of those scenarios where if you really need to overtake someone because they're just holding you up that much, this is where you need to get a bit aggressive and make a move that you wouldn't usually make. So, for example, if he can get a good run into this upcoming corner, which he didn't on this occasion, it would have been a decent opportunity. But he is going to have a good shot into turn 1 if Queasy dips out of the DRS. Queasy 8.5 tenths, now 9.5 tenths. Behind Motion God up ahead, but I think Queasy is going to get it, and he is. Only just. Let's see if the Bartofor can get it done. We had a position change at the top, kept the slices overtaking Ishii. Bartofor could have made that lunge, I think, but seems that he's comfortable down here for the time being. So we're going to move on. We're going to move on to Shiv. Up in P3, he's got a good run on Ishii in the Williams. Oh, Ishii goes off the track at the exit of turn 4. Might have been a warning there. These camera angles are superb. I wish I had this angle yesterday when I was commentating D1 Qatar. So as you can see, Expedito, Waza, and DJ Lawson are the 3 drivers to have picked up penalties so far. Your bottom 3 drivers, Mohamed Mando picks up a penalty as well. Bottom 3 drivers have pitted. Everyone else has not. Waza, 8 laps on the softs. I think that's actually pretty impressive, especially at a track like this with high tire deg. So I would imagine he would be making his stop soon, but we will have to wait and see. As the Bartofor is looking to make his move, slight contact again between himself and the RB. And on the exit of the final corner, the Bartofor just clips the right rear tire of Queasy. He's broken his front wing, and that will trigger a safety car. And Super Sean, crucial for the championship, he's picked up a 10-second stop-and-go penalty for a collision with Suri Vasta under safety car conditions. So this is a perfect time for Waza to make a pit stop, and he does, but he's going on to the mediums, so that tells me he's 2-stopping. I think the hards would be able to make it to the end from this stage, but I am not the expert, especially on F124. I think I have like 1.5 driving hours on this game. Just can't be bothered with the handling. I think it's awful, in my personal opinion, but yeah. And you can see literally everyone is diving into the pits. Even Motion God, who's on the hard tires. Queasy will be staying out. But in a situation like this, doesn't matter what tire you're on. If everyone else is pitting, you got to pit too, because you're just going to get eaten alive when everyone else is on fresher tires. And that's just me speaking from experience. So Waza is also staying out. That makes sense because he is on the mediums. Expedito's on fresh tires as well, so he stays out. Mohammed could have made a pit stop. He's not really losing anything. He's only losing 1 position. And yeah, I don't think those tires are making it to the end either, but I guess his plan is to take those tires to lap 20-ish, 20 to 25, and then switch to mediums. He could have pitted, but it's not the end of the world that he didn't. I think it could also work out for him by staying out. We will have to wait and see. Yeah, so for Queasy, he definitely doesn't have front runner pace at this track. We've already established that. And on used tires. I don't think it's going to be very long before he starts getting overtaken by pretty much everybody. So for him, yeah, it's a real head scratcher why he didn't make his pit stop. It would probably be difficult to take mediums to the end, but I think at least he's on the same strategy as everyone else. And that is beneficial because you can kind of gauge where you're going to end up if you can like calculate your gap to the drivers around you and try to match it, if not gain on them. When you're running an alternate strategy, your mentality kind of changes and you're it's difficult to keep the pace up sometimes and avoid mistakes. So, again, that's just me just spitting random words coming from experience, but at the same time, um, he may have a plan, and I'm sure he does have a plan. So we're going to wait and see how it ends up going for him. Everyone has caught up to the safety car, so this should be the final lap under safety car conditions. The safety car is in this lap, and the drivers are currently waiting for the safety car to enter the pit lane. Once the green flag comes out, it is down to Queasy to lead the pack to full speed. And he is off. Queasy puts his foot to the floor, and it wasn't the best exit because Kev the Slice already is right on the back of him. He's going to make the move down the inside into turn one, goes full lock on the steering wheel. That's exactly what I don't like about this year's handling. But clearly it works, and Kev the Slice is up into the lead already, and Ishii makes contact with Queasy on the safety car restart on the entry to turn two. That is not what the Williams driver needed. That will be hindering his performance for the remainder of this race until he makes another pit stop. You can see him understeering wide there on the exit of turn four. And he picks up a time penalty as well. So, yeah, that was definitely not the restart Ishii would have wanted. He's going to get overtaken by Suri Vasta now too. Tries to hold it around the outside, but the pace just wasn't there. Oh, contact! Massive contact! Torpedo Waza strikes again. I'm not sure who he hit there. Makes contact again there. That time I think that was Ishii's fault, going a bit too deep. Waza keeps the position though. High drama here at the restart. Shiv looking to make the move down the inside of Ishii. Ishii holds his line well and is able to keep his position. Suri Vasta receives a penalty now. So does Queasy. Penalties for everyone here on lap 14. And now nearly half of the field has picked up a penalty. Expedito as well. Queasy makes a late move. Oh, but that is way too deep for Ishii. He almost took himself out there. That was That was super late. But I think Shiv was able to get past Queasy there on the inside of turn one. Yeah, you can already see Queasy in the span of a couple laps going down from P1 down to P5. The old hard tires are just no match for the fresh ones. Oh, the Bartofor continuing his comeback. He's up in the P6 now, so he's kind of flown under the radar for most of this race. And he makes contact again with Queasy. It just seems like Queasy is a hazard on the track at this point. The amount of times the Bartofor has ran into him. Let's see if the Alpine can finally get past here on lap 16. Looking to go down the inside. Super Sean looking to go round the outside. The Bartofor goes deep though, and he makes more contact with Queasy. He must be fuming. Queasy hits the Bartofor at the apex, or on the outside, I should say, of turn one. Bartofor losing positions. He gets front wing damage as well. Motion God was able to slip through there. Side by side with Super Sean at turn four. Super Sean backs out. Yeah, I'm not trying to pick on him here or anything, Queasy. But, and I'm not saying any of them were his fault, but he's been involved in a lot of incidents here today. So Kodoy is finding that pace he had early on in qualifying. He's putting pressure on Kev the Slice in first place. Lockups there from Motion God. Yeah, I got a feel for the Bartofor here. And the Williams drivers from a 2-3 start down plumb last for both of them. Another incident. Oh, massive crash. Pile up into turn one. I think that time it was the Bartofor. If I'm remembering correctly, there was a car that was absolutely steaming down the inside there, and just plowed into the Mercedes and the RB. So, yeah, I'm not sure which car caused it, but there were many cars involved, at least three. Wow, the drama is not disappointing here on lap 17, and we've almost got more contact. There was contact there for DJ Lawson and the Bartofor. Thankfully, that was pretty minor. So now Queasy has no end plate on both sides of his car. I think it's the same for the Bartofor, and it is. Oh, hang on. No, he's got his end plate on the left-hand side. Queasy is missing both sides, though. Yeah, he is. So that's like a in between green and yellow, I'm pretty sure, on your damage indicator. Queasy is going to lose 2 positions here unless he can do a switchback on Surivasta. Surivasta does a good job holding his inside line, and there you have it then. Queasy drops 2 positions into turn 1. Roberto missing an end plate on the right-hand side. Oh, and Kodoy is actually up into the lead. So we're going to switch back to this battle where it appears Kev the Slice isn't as quick as the Haas driver at this stage. Going to switch to the tire screen. They're both on 7-lap-old hards. Kev the Slice doing a good job gaining that time that he lost back. The Hungaroring never disappoints, ladies and gentlemen. Little slide there from Kodoy. Oh, but Kev the Slice goes a bit too deep on the entry to turn 1, and I don't think this is going to be enough. He's going to be burning all of his ERS, but so is Kodoy. crucially, Kev the Slice has more in the tank. Maybe forcing Kodoy into a mistake. He does. Kodoy missed the apex there. I don't think it's going to be enough for Kev the Slice to make a move into turn 2, though. He has a look, trying to force Kodoy into another mistake, but that's not enough to actually pass. So we're going to switch back down to this battle here, because this was absolutely electric just a couple laps ago. Oh, massive slide there from the kick Sauber of DJ Lawson. This is one of those tracks where, I mean, they're all like this, but this is to an extreme where you feel like you have so much grip in qualifying on a set of fresh softs, and in the race it feels like you're moving in slow motion with used hards. Oh, DJ Lawson right on the back of the Bartofor, nearly touching the rear wing of the Alpine car there. But props to him for keeping his front wing out of the Bartofor's rear wing. And by having significantly more ERS than the drivers behind him, Super Sean is able to stay ahead without the DRS. These two are approaching the main straight, so let's see one more time. Let's see if Kev the Slice has a good run on Kodoy. He's got significantly more battery. Same with the first time, but again, he's just struggling to keep up with Kodoy when they approach the DRS zone, so I don't think it's going to be enough here. He's going to use some of his battery, so is Kodoy, but yeah, the gap was just way too big at the beginning of the straight, and he got fairly close, to be fair, but again, just not enough right now. He needs to be right on the tail of Kodoy, minimum 5/10. However, with a good exit out of turn 1, he's got the move done. Kev the Slice back up into the lead. I was saying at the start of the main straight, you need to be at between 0/10 and 5/10 behind, and Kev the Slice proved me wrong there. Roberto spinning out at turn 1, so must have been another incident with these jambronis over here. Kev the Slice and Kodoy changing position. Massive slide for Kev the Slice. I can see this battle going right to the end. And then there were 3. Super Sean, Surivasta, and DJ Lawson. Kevin Slice is back up into the lead. Just pointing that out. Yeah, it looks like in the DRS train it's very difficult to do anything really. You need the car in front to not have DRS, and you need to be close to them or else the move is just off, period. Oh, and look who has arrived on the scene. Welcome, Shiv, to the party. So, not sure if Kodoy already had this penalty for a while, but he does have a 3-second time penalty. You've got 11 and a half laps to go here in this race. And given the way things have gone so far, I don't think Kodoy is going to be able to gap these two by 3 seconds. It looks like this race is going to finish like this in a DRS train. So, yeah, Kodoy is either going to make up some time fast, massive slide, or he's going to have to hope that Kev and Shiv pick up penalties of their own. He's also got to keep up. He's nearly out of the DRS from Kev right now. Kev put some serious distance between himself and the Haas car on that lap. Oh, but he seems to be struggling at the end of the third sector. Kodoy gained a couple tenths there through the penultimate and final corners. It's not going to be enough, though. All three drivers have considerably high ERS, all around the 70-80 range. DJ Lawson makes a pit stop. Interesting. I think he could have made it to the end because he's basically on the same tires as most of the other drivers. And I'm assuming that the plan is to go to the end, unless, of course, there's a safety car. Lazar, though, I think Lazar is going to have a hard time. He should be making a stop pretty soon. Probably to the soft tires. He started on the soft, so he has some good knowledge with that particular compound. And Kodoy is on the brink of being cut out of DRS here. Let's see if he can have another good third sector. Currently a second out. Is he going to get it? Crossing the detection point, and he barely gets it. Yeah, so I don't know. Kev the Slice seems to be gaining in the middle sector, but then losing in the third sector. So it must have something to do with downforce or just the line that these two are taking. This is currently the only battle on the track at the moment, and Waza is pitting. So I'm expecting a set of softs for the McLaren driver, but mediums would be okay as well, and it is the softs. Yeah, these three are neck and neck, and I'm expecting this battle to go right to the checkered flag. The gap between all three of them getting shorter and shorter. PJ Lawson sets the fastest lap of this race on a fresh set of medium compound tires. Still neck and neck here. Lap 28 about to start lap 29. Bartofor is gaining on Super Sean, so we're going to take a look at this battle for a little bit. Actually, before this, I was just about to switch to this battle. And Motion God gets past on the inside. Switching back to the Bartofor. This is a potential championship battle right here. The Bartofor and Super Sean. Oh, what's happening? Position changing at the front. We're going to come back to this. I just want to see the Bartofor have an opportunity. Is he going to get it? Doesn't have the speed right now. I'm going to go back to the battle at the front at the end of the race, so that's why I just want to see some other drivers at this moment. He's getting closer, but he's not quite there just yet. Oh, we got a yellow flag. It was Queasy. Yeah, you see what I mean? Last place after staying out in the safety car. Just saying. Might be something to make note of for next time. So Kev the Slice is doing a beautiful job. He's keeping a really good gap between himself and Kodoy, and regardless, Kodoy has that 3-second penalty. So really, Kodoy is kind of blocking Shiv from getting a chance at Kev the Slice, but none of them have enough pace advantage on the car in front to make a move. So, or neither Kodoy or Shiv, I should say, have enough pace advantage. So it really is just a stalemate at this stage. And the Bartow 4, interestingly, opts to stay behind Super Sean into turn 1. Super Sean makes note of this and does a good job parking his car at the apex so that Bartow 4 doesn't get an opportunity into turn 2. I think that was his plan for the Bartow 4. However, usually if you make him overtake into turn 1, you're still going to cross the detection point behind the car that you're overtaking. So you're still going to get the DRS into turn 2. If I'm the Bartow 4, I'm going to go for that move next time I have the opportunity. Shiv is dipping out of DRS now at the crucial point at the end of this race. So this is bad news for the Aston Martin driver, because now Kev the Slice is going to be able to pull Kodoy along with the DRS and obviously with that P1 pace. So now it's very, very important that Shiv either gets back in the DRS or keeps his pace up enough so that he doesn't dip under that 3-second gap, because he can easily get up in the P2 here by overtaking Kodoy after penalties. So this is the other opportunity we were talking about, and the Bartow 4 is going for it. Down the inside into turn 1. Does a fairly good job on the brakes. Super Sean looks for the switchback, and I think there was contact there. Super Sean and the Bartow 4 make contact, and Super Sean, it was either contact or the Bartow 4 had an oversteer moment coming out of turn 1, and Super Sean is able to retake the place. So it's there, but not just yet for the Bartow 4. Super Sean has a penalty though. So how much penalties does Three has to have? Not enough for Bartow 4 to overtake. So here we go then. Bartow 4 is going to try again. 3.5 tenths behind the Red Bull. I think he has it in the bag here on this attempt. Using hot lap battery mode. So is Super Sean. He has Bartow 4 has the DRS though. He's going to look to brake as late as possible around the outside. But again, Super Sean is unfazed, gets a good exit, and is keeping his position on track, of course. Does have that 6-second time penalty. We've got a yellow flag. Who is it? Not sure who it was. I don't think there's much going on in the top 3, so I'm going to focus on this battle now between Super Sean and the Bartow 4. Of course, the Bartow 4 will overtake him after penalties anyway, but we do want to see some on-track action if we can. However, Kodoy going down the inside into turn 1. He makes it stick. He gets the DRS, has a looked like a snap of oversteer there. That's the thing. If you enable your DRS too early on the exit of turn one, you're going to have massive traction problems. Some contact there between the Haas and the Ferrari, but Kodoi is able to keep the position. And crucially, it has allowed Shiv to catch back up to Kev the Slice, and now Shiv can take the win here. It's a battle between between Kev the Slice and Shiv for the lead. Shiv gets past as well. Okay, the Bartofor has gotten past. Now we're going to change gears. We're currently watching Shiv as he tries to hunt down Kev the Slice, but Kev the Slice does a great job in the middle sector there, gaining over 1 second on the Aston Martin. Penultimate corner now. He's only got one more corner to go. It's not going to be enough from Shiv. Kev the Slice is going to come home to win from pole here in Hungary. Shiv comes home in second, and Kodoi a valiant effort. However, the penalty did not help him. He finishes in the final podium spot in P3. Srivasta comes home in P4, followed by the Bartofor and Super Sean hot on his heels. Behind them is DJ Lawson, Roberto, Waza, and Motion God trading places up to the line. I'm not sure who has more penalties, but Waza is going to take it on track, and he had more penalties in the end. My sound cut out for a second there. 11th, Expedito, and last but not least, in 12th is Mohammed. Srivasta earns the driver of the day, coming home in P4, well deserved. So there we have it then. Kev the Slice wins from pole here at Hungary with a gap of 3/10 to Shiv behind him, followed by Kodoi, Srivasta, the Bartofor, Super Sean, Roberto, DJ Lawson, Motion God, Waza, who finishes with the fastest lap of the race, 1 minute 16.8. Behind him is Mohammed, Expedito, Queasy, and Ishi. It was a wonderful start from the Williams team, but unfortunately for them, the race didn't pan out the way they had hoped, and they finish at the back of the field. So we are going to get an interview today. It's been a while. We're going to get Kev the Slice for sure, and maybe Shiv. So please hang tight. So yeah, so it's just going to be Kev the Slice today. Just waiting for him to join the party, and then we can get going. And here he is. So, hello, Kev. Can you hear me okay?
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you, man.
Just going to make sure the stream can hear you. and they
All
can.
right, sweet.
Perfect. So, yeah, wonderful race. Obviously, winning from pole there. It was, I wouldn't say dominant, but you
Nah,
were in
nah.
the lead for most of the race there. So talk us through that. What was going through your head through the last 10,
Yeah,
15 laps where we had that battle at the top three?
yeah. Well, first of all, hats off to Nathwani and Kodai because they was very good today. I honestly wasn't expecting them to, like us three to be battling as hard as we did. So yeah, respect to them, and especially to Kodai because there was some good sportsmanship going on. Because I accidentally hit into him on lap 18 and caused him to half spin, and I gave him the position back, and he did the same to me on near the end, and he gave the position back. So fair play to him. That was
That's
good.
very important there, having trust in the drivers that you're battling.
Yeah, absolutely. And but yeah, it was around 10, 15 laps towards the end. I was with Kodai, and he got a 3 second penalty, which was good for me, obviously, but I wasn't pushing too hard because I knew that as long as Nathwani stayed behind Kodoi, that I'd be okay. But yeah, I just had to be consistent with my pace, really.
Yeah.
And yeah, and I managed to pull through, which is good.
How was the tire wear, out of curiosity?
Um, the mediums went really quick, to be fair. The safety car was almost perfect. It could have been like a lap or two later, but
Yeah.
yeah, the hards lasted well. The hards were really well around here, but
Yeah, yeah. You did almost 25 laps, if I remember correctly.
yeah, yeah, I boxed on lap 10 from the safety
Yeah.
car, so yeah.
Yeah, and one last question for you, Kev. Talk us through qualifying. Obviously, you took pole position there right at the end. What were you thinking for strategy? Obviously, there were a couple of drivers that switched onto the softs at the end there, but that didn't work out for them.
Yeah, that's a funny thing because I actually switched to the soft compound tire, but when I came out of the pits, the game didn't switch and they put me back on the Inters, and I was really annoyed at the time. But obviously, to me, the track seemed completely dry, like visual wise, but
Yeah,
it
yeah.
felt
Same
like
with
it was
on
still
my
quite
end.
damp. So maybe the game for once is in my favor for choosing tires. So
Yeah.
yeah, and I managed to pull a lap right out at the end. So yeah, yeah, it was good.
That was a great lap. Just taking a pole there, taking pole away there from the Williams guys, who had a great qualifying, but didn't finish as well as they would have hoped. So thank you for the interview, Kev. It was a great race from you, and
Yeah, no
good luck
worries.
next week.
Thank you very much. I'll see you soon.
Thank you. Bye bye. So thank you everyone for watching. It was truly a great race, and it was my pleasure to host the commentary. And I'll see you next time. Bye bye.